Now, Jimi Tewe is a seasoned career success catalyst, motivational speaker, and the CEO of Inspiro Consulting. He is a member of the American Association of Small Business Consultants and is very passionate about helping individuals reach their highest potentials. Now, over the past month or so, we have been talking about finishing the year strong. It's the year 2019, and a lot of people are thinking, how's this year going to be like for the remainder of this quarter? But now, Jimmy wants to talk to us about relationships and how this also affects our growth and, of course, the quality of our outputs and all of that. So talk to us about relationships and why this is so important.
Okay, great. One of the things I've found out is that a lot of people have said to me, oh, Jimmy, that I wish that I've gotten more resources here. I work hard. I'm good at what I do. But one of the lessons of life people need to realize is that it's not how good you are that matters. It is who knows you are good that matters. Because referrals and opportunities are given to people that know. I mean, this last week, I got a call from a CEO and he says to me, oh, I need somebody, to fill a role. And immediately I remembered somebody and referred, and the person got the job. The person did not get the job because she's just good, because she's pretty good, but because I knew her and then an opportunity came.
Right.
So again, yes.
Basically positioning yourself and having the right relationships.
Now, you have to be intentional about building these relationships, because I realize a lot of people are like, I don't know anybody. Well, if you say you don't know anybody in January, by February you should know somebody. You should be intentional about building right networks, particularly in the area of work you're doing. So for example, for career professionals, say to them that, look, as you begin to grow upward in your career, that you're getting a job should not be by application, but by referral. But referral is really about your network. And you have to be intentional about building right relationships. You attend conferences that basically expose you to the kind of people that would appreciate the kind of skills that you have. So yes, they might not know you, but you need to be intentional about building those relationships. In business, what I found out is that 90% of business decisions are relationship driven. And we see that. Some say, oh, well, in Nigeria, you need to know somebody. And there's some sort of truth about it, but it's global. The truth about it is that every buying relationship is usually more emotional than rational. And when it comes to the emotional dimension, then we're talking about relationships. And so what I find is that people are waiting for people to come and look for them. But if you've got something good, then you have to take it to them, build the right relationships. And as business also shows, that when you have one customer and maintain the relationship, you can get more business over a period of time.
I like that. Let's go into we're talking about business initially, but let's go into people who work, work in an office, and all of that. We'll come back to business shortly. Now, sometimes I'm in an organization, and a lot of people that I've met have always said, I'm just going to focus and do my work. And,
my work will speak for me.
My work will speak for me, things like that. I'm not going to suck up to the boss and all of that. But it always seems like people who have a good relationship with the boss and good relationship with their peers do well. They just seem to be moving. They're not doing anything special.
Thank you.
But so what do you have to say to someone who just focuses on his work and say, look, I just want to do my work. I'm not here to, my God will help me or my God will promote me, things like that.
Okay, well, what I say and I advise people, from a career coaching point of view is that you need to be good at what you do. And those guys that use social skills to go up, they get to a point that they get to a position where they're not able to deliver on their promise. And so they get stuck. But you that you're good, it's not sufficient to be good. You need to be intentional about building the right relationships that are value-driven. Now, it's not about kissing up anywhere. It's really about, meeting people. So, for example, the first job I had, I remember that I walked up to the CEO one day, and I said to her, her name is Ifweko. She used to be Ifweko Moigui, former FIRS chairman. I worked with her. And I said to her, I was just inspired and said, I'd like you to be my mentor. That was an informal relationship. And it's those kind of people that will speak for you where it matters. I worked with a company called Accenture. And you do your promotion meetings and all that. And usually somebody inside must speak well for you. You might do the proper performance rating and all that. But people ask, who is this person? What have they done? But if nobody is able to stand for you, you will find that you're getting passed over and over, repeatedly. And all that.
Somebody has to be able to stand for you, and that will be based on relationship.
But now the way you do it is this, that of course, see how you can add value to them. In the workplace, I had people that, for example, I'll do extra work for, when I had the time and had the ability to deliver, and they'll thank me for it. But what I was doing was that, and this is how relationships work, you must invest before you can withdraw. All right, that's the way that it works. So do good to other people consistently, do your work, do it excellently. But as you begin to go, you find at some point you have to ask and say, I need help with this thing. I need you to speak up for me in this area. But because you've made those deposits, it's easy to make a withdrawal.
I like that. So let's go back to business, because sometimes, I'm doing my business and I'm hoping that something will happen. Somebody's going to call me. And there are some people who don't feel like they're extroverts or like they can be aggressively out there.
I get you.
How do I begin to take definite steps? You said we should be intentional.
Yes, exactly.
So how do I begin to be intentional about going out, meeting people, and all
Okay, so you have an introverted entrepreneur and extroverted entrepreneur. It's easier for the extroverted person to take steps to meet people they don't know. But look, when it comes to sales, they don't care they're an introvert or extrovert. The person that sells value is the one that's going to get value. And so let me talk about the introvert. You see, the truth about being introverted does not mean that you don't have social skills. You can go ahead and offer the value to them. So all you need to do, and this is what I tell people, that there's somebody out there that needs what you have, but they don't know that you exist. So you must be intentional about letting people know visibility is one, and communicate the value that you have to people, then build relationships. I've seen introverted people that are able to walk up to people. The truth about it is that most people say, I'm introverted, is really, I lack self-esteem. I don't want to be rejected. But every salesperson knows that for 1 yes, you will probably get several no's. And our African culture, unfortunately, tells us to avoid rejection. So most people are not prone to sales. So when it comes to sales, I don't want to do it.
Don't you avoid it, yeah.
You can't be great in business without being a salesperson. That's the way that it works. So you must challenge yourself. So I tell people that this week, how many people are you going to call? How many offices are you going to visit? How many clients are you going to see potential? They will close the door on some, but guess what? One of them might open. And when one opens and they see you are good, they will refer you to other people also.
So these things are really, really important, and they're very key. And it almost looks like if I'm in business, there's no expansion without relationships, without referrals, and all of that. And these are some of the key things that I then have to look at to ensure that I change. Okay, so now, if I'm looking at expansion for, say, the year 2020. What are the steps I should be looking at in the area of relationships? So if maybe I had relationships that I'm started cultivating in 2019, but no business has come out of it, or no job, nobody has called me, or whatever it is, what are the things I should start doing now to keep myself in the minds of people?
Good. So a few things that I think you need to do. Again, I tell people that you need to maximize your platforms. So for example, I'm very intentional on social media, and I'm talking about from LinkedIn, all the way to Instagram or whatever, because I realize that people that are watching me are actually watching me from there. So the content I put out there is basically driving the value that I have available. So think about platform. Then about people is that usually the people you need are not within the circle you are. So you've got to step beyond the comfort zone. You've got to move beyond that. Attend conferences where, so for example, you want to do business with people that are in the oil and gas industry, then attend the oil and gas conference. You want to do training for organizations. There's a CIPM conference sometime later this month. You should be there. So you pay to be in the space where they are. When you get there, you have the higher probability of being able to convert and have new business from there.
So very, very important. So I like what you said about expanding your circle. And the people you need are not necessarily in your circle. So you need to go beyond. So this is almost like doing something that you've never done before.
Boldness, courage.
Courage, boldness. It's tough.
It's the way the world works, but
it's tough. When you live in Lagos, it's almost like you're trying to meet someone. Initially, they worry of you. They think you're a fraud, or you make a phone call. And so how do you get beyond all this? It's almost, especially if you're a startup. How do you get used to this issue of making calls and taking that step and going out and say, okay, you know what? Despite everything, I'm still going to try even harder.
I'll teach you a quick skill. It's called the hook, line, and sinker. All right? So the hook is that when I meet you, so for example, someone's watching this and saying, I think I want to be on the show, I want to be on Yomi's show. And then they see you someday, maybe at the mall or the airport, and they say, hello, Yomi, how are you doing? I mean, I watch you, all right, on the Wake Up Nigeria and all this kind of thing. Thank you so much for the advice you gave the last time. Usually, they have to find something that will hook your attention, all right? Because within the first 10 seconds, you either are saying, this person is either wasting my time, or there's
because
value.
Once you say hi, Yomi, and it's at the mall, I'm like, okay.
So there has to be a hook. So you need to know the hook by having studied Yomi for quite a while. Once you get the hook, the line is the value that you have. The sinker is the offer. So you're saying to Yomi that, oh, look, I want to sing, but hey, what is it that I have that Yomi needs? That is a singer that I offer to him and all that. And then you can now say, this is my contact. I would like to stay in contact with you and all that. But basically, you're coming to Yomi, solving his problem, not looking to be a problem to Yomi. That's the way that it works.
Right.
So when you go to, don't say, I have goods to sell. Say, look, you have this problem that my goods can actually be a solution to.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, it's been an amazing month with Jimi Tewe, and I can tell you that if you have been watching, you shouldn't be the same. You should be looking at, just doing amazing things, and make sure you give us feedback and give him feedback as well on social media.